All right. Hey, everybody. This is Ashley.
And this is Aaron. Quote these notes.
Aaron, look.
Keep it going.
Okay. We get this out. Hey guys, welcome back to another week of A Perspective. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Aaron.
And if you're joining us again, first of all, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming back for another week to join us on our podcast.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. If you guys noticed, we just dropped our very first mini-sode this past week. Ooh. So, yes, it's just a little quick, segment that we do. So we'll be doing that every other week that we're not doing a full podcast. And that way you guys won't miss us too much while we're gone. We promise we'll keep it short and it can be just a little quick pick-me-up for you to start your week off, or... Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something.
Yeah. Something to get you through the week without us. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So we are jumping right into our first segment called the Small Business Shout Out. And this week I am shouting out Coco Chanel, the stylist. Her name is Coco Chanel Roberts, and she is a fashion stylist that loves building confidence through fashion. She is available for personal styling for women, men, and kids. I'm shouting her out this week. I've known Chanel. Again, this is someone else I've known for years. We went to college together, and Chanel really does have great fashion sense. And every time I see her, she always looks nice. She always keeps herself up. And I've actually used her for personal styling. And Chanel is when I can really say that it's not just about the clothes, it's about making you feel good. And she always tells me, if you feel good, you'll feel better. If you feel good about yourself, you'll feel better about the outside. And so while she's doing your personal styling, she is also building up your confidence. And I think that's very important in that field. So you can reach Chanel at 804-878-7823 or hit her up on her Facebook page. It is Coco Chanel R, the stylist. That's COKA-CHANEL R, the stylist.
Yes.
Yes. Ah. Aaron knows Chanel too. Yeah. Norfolk State. Yes. So all right, that does it for small business shout out.
Yes.
We should do a little jingle there or something when we do this. We'll let y'all will hear it. Something like ding, or like a shimmer. Anyway, okay.
No, but I support it too. Go check Chanel out.
Yes, yeah. Please. All right, and so now we are going to move on to
5 questions.
Yay. I love 5 questions. I always say that. Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay. So 5 questions this week. Question 1.
Okay.
Are you obligated to listen to your friends' quote unquote BS? Are you obligated to listen to your friends' bullshit?
That is a good so I'm guessing you mean about bullshit that they going through?
Yes.
Something about,
it's whatever they call you with. Are you obligated to or talk to you about? Are you obligated to listen to it?
To a certain extent. And I feel like I struggle with that. I'm not going to get too deep. Okay, we won't get to... Yes, because I always... 5 questions, whatever. So I feel like I struggle with that because I know my friends have been there for me through a lot of shit, and I feel like, sometimes certain bullshit that I held on to that they listen to a lot. But I think as I get older, I feel like it's just not worth my peace of mind. So... No, after a certain point, and that goes for me too. So yes, if I ever bring up anything that you consider bullshit, you can refer me to this episode. No, at this time of my life, no.
I agree. The answer is no.
Okay.
No need for explanation. 5 questions. Maybe that'll be an AP. That could be.
Yeah. That's
right.
One of those rabbit holes.
All right. Question 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right. No, which Captain Planet ring would you choose?
Okay. Oh,
Of the show, the show Captain Planet.
Yeah.
Which Captain Planet ring would you choose? So there's Earth, Air, Fire, Water,
Heart,
Wind.
No. You already did. You did Air.
Heart. You're right. Go Planet.
Fire. Final answer.
I would choose Wind.
Really? Okay.
I think.
But you blowing in the wind?
I really would just choose Captain Planet because Captain Planet's all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yes. That's my answer.
That's not a ring. No, because you can't get...
But Captain Planet's all the rings combined.
Right, but you have to have a ring to get Captain... You can't just be Captain Planet. You got to wait for somebody to call on you then. That's what you want to do?
No, I don't want to wait on no one.
Boom.
Anyway. All right. So I would choose then... Yeah, I'm going to stick with Wind. Whatever. Okay. All right. Question 3.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay to call out from work after a breakup?
The fuck? No. No. I'm probably yelling. No. And I don't... No. That work and personal is separate. Your bills don't give a shit that you done broke up with somebody. They gonna keep on coming. Like, what? You better cry in the bathroom. Like, what the? No.
But what if you have a personal day? What if you have What if you have PTO at your job or paid time off?
Okay, you can use that for something good, like for something. So you're gonna sit at home and wallow all day and lose 8 hours where you could really have that 8 hours for another time when you want to go shopping to make yourself feel better after that. Get the fuck... No. I'm sorry. That's just me. I'm sorry. That's just me.
I know. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I think it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
I mean, some people, maybe they just can't handle it. No. Because
you don't know what that breakup did to that individual.
I done been to work in the middle of breakups. I done been to work going off in the bathroom stall. So no.
And did you not want to leave work early?
No, I never thought to leave work. I went back to my desk and acted like that won't nothing wrong. Like,
I mean, what? I've never been a part of this situation, but I can just imagine that if you had I could just see somebody who's emotionally distraught or.
I mean, I've been emotional at work. 5 questions. I've been emotional at work before, but no, I don't feel like I need to go home. There we go.
All right, question.
What is this, 4?
4.
Yeah.
Who would you rather deal with? Or who would you rather deal with?
Mm-hmm.
A person who never acknowledges their wrongdoing? Or someone who always apologizes but never changes?
Wait, what was the first part again? What was the first one? A person who
never acknowledges their wrongdoing, or someone who always apologizes but never changes.
I'm gonna say the person who never acknowledges their wrongdoing. If you with somebody that always apologizes but doesn't change, that's not a real apology. And to me, it sounds like they don't give a shit. They just gonna keep doing the same thing. And when people show you who they are, believe them. So even if it takes them 3, 4, 5, 6 months again to do that same thing, they're still gonna do that same fuck shit. So no, sorry. Go off. Okay. What would you choose?
I agree. I think the person who never acknowledges, and that's just because, for me, when you know better, you do better.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
and some people
if you don't do better once you know, that's a problem.
Right.
So I choose the first one.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Question 5.
Ooh.
This is a 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Remember, 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Is where we give options, and we're gonna say 1, 2, 3, and then we'll say the answer to whatever question we're asking.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So 1 has to go.
Okay.
This may be easy for you, but 1 has to go.
Okay.
Pancakes, waffles, French toast, cinnamon bun.
Oh, I was about to say that answer already. Let's go. Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Waffles.
Cinnamon bun. They never put enough icing on cinnamon buns.
No, I think you got to get it. You got to know where to go. Cinnabon.
Cinnabon. You gotta ask for extra icing. If I get the mini ones, okay. because it's typically good. And even if you ask for extra icing,
you got to know how to do it
cool.
because
it sounds really fat.
They
this is a fat question.
If you just lately, I go look. They're usually fresh. Mm-hmm. You have to get the one that's never been cut up because then when they go to cut a fresh one, when they go cut the first batch, they usually give you a little extra.
Yeah, no.
From the spillage and all, so you got it's a whole.
See,
thing.
if you had to stop that, if you hadn't put Cinnabons up there, Cinnabons, I would have said waffles because I ain't giving up French toast or pancakes. But I know that's neither here nor there. All right, that was 5, right?
Yeah. I just feel like pancakes and French toast. Anyway, that was 5 questions.
All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for 5 questions this week. I hope you guys had some answers right along with us. And this is a good time to plug if you ever want to reach out to us and, suggest your own 5 questions for us to read and answer. The email address is aperspective, no E at the end, at gmail.com. All right, just a quick plug.
Or you can hit us up on IG or Facebook.
Yep. All right, moving right along to Under My Skin. Let me tell y'all, I am waiting for this Under My Skin. I didn't really have an Under My Skin really for the past couple weeks until today. I mean, there was things that got under my skin, but it just didn't stick out like that. But today, y'all. All right, so I'm going to let you go first though, Aaron.
Am I going first?
Yes, you are. What got under your skin this week?
Okay. So I just have 2 things, small. Because I kind of didn't have one either. And then this just sort of happened on the train the other day. Okay. And I was like, what? Like, it threw me off for a second. All right. So I wrote down people asking me questions about what's on my phone. Why are you over my shoulder looking at my phone? What? So I'm on the train, sitting down, looking at something, but I came across a picture of someone on Facebook. And so out of nowhere, this lady says, "Excuse me, what's her name?" And points.
What?
I mean, of course I'm not rude. So, I looked down, looked up at her, answered the question. And she was like, "Oh yeah, that's who she was like, "Okay, that's who I thought." I got up and then I looked, I was like, I thought to, like, once I got to my stop, got up and left. And I was just like, what? Why was she on my...
Yes, that is rude as shit. Oh my God.
And see, and I used to think I was crazy because sometimes when I get on the train or the bus, I look around. I look to see like what's around me, depending on what I feel like looking at. Because then I need to know who may potentially see it or not. I don't need to angle myself or sit somewhere else.
Right. Right.
Out of respect for other people. And their wandering eyes.
Yes.
Not for what I'm trying to hide.
Right.
Not for them.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I let my guard down in that moment. Like I really, what? Anyway.
What happened?
So that's got
to popped up.
So that's the first thing. So the second thing that happened was so that on that same day I went to the gym.
Damn,
I wrote down dogs in the gym. That's what I wrote down.
Yes.
So I went to the gym.
As you should.
And I was on this machine doing something, and so directly across from it was this other workout equipment, like this other piece of equipment. Mm-hmm. I see this lady get on it, and she starts using it, and her purse is next to her. You know how you catch something out the side of your eye, but you don't really know what it is? Mm-hmm. So I see something move, and I look, and she has a dog in her purse next to the machine she's on. Just...
What type of... Ma'am.
You know how I feel about animals. Dogs. I mean, all these things are sort of funny, but they, yes, kind of got under my skin.
Can I ask?
Nope. Nope. Next, your turn.
I feel like... Hold up. I feel like it's about to be a whole segment, because last week I asked, could I ask?
No.
Nope. Okay, but let me ask.
No.
Did you report her?
No, I did not.
Was she someone that you could have called the police on? No, was she someone that would have called the police on you? Fine. All right. So my under the skin this week is mother. Oh no, because we had to bleep. I'm gonna try not to. It's Aaron. Aaron and our other friend whose name I'm not gonna say, but girl, you know who you are, and I know you're gonna hear this, and I don't care. We're in GroupMe today. I'm sure y'all know about GroupMe or whatever. And we're just talking. Okay, so everybody in GroupMe has been watching Game of Thrones because that's just, I mean, and we're rewatching. Let me say, everybody in GroupMe is watching Game of Thrones, rewatching. And today, my friend in the group brought up Littlefinger. And so, if y'all watch Game of Thrones, y'all know who Littlefinger is. Okay, so my response was, I didn't know whether or not... If you don't know
Game of Thrones, you need to go...
Yeah, you gotta at least Google Littlefinger. But I just did not know how I felt about Littlefinger. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to like him or dislike him. Now, spoiler alert, Littlefinger is... he is a sneaky guy. He's done some really messed up stuff. He didn't set up Ned Stark. He didn't kill Lysa Arryn. He set up Jon Arryn. It's a lot of stuff. However, he also did some good. He helped kill Joffrey Baratheon. He tried to help save Sansa. Whatever. How it turned out was messed up, but I truly do not think that he knew who Ramsay was or what Ramsay was gonna do. Anyway, back to my under the skin. So this is my opinion, right? Okay, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying anybody has to agree with it. Aaron and my
to go off and say we back.
Look, see, no, this is my under the skin.
Nope, that's what I'm looking.
Aaron and my unnamed friend gonna attack me in the group chat because of how I felt about Littlefinger. What? First of all, this is a fantasy show, okay? Let me say that. Second of all, I can like and dislike whoever I want to. It's not y'all's feelings. Y'all don't have to attack me because y'all don't feel. Everybody, they attacked me. Like, when I tell you they were going off like, what type of person are you? And here go Aaron. Oh, I see you like sneaky people. I see you side with sneaky people. Excuse me, sir? And then I had to say, Aaron, what the hell are you even doing in this room? Let me tell y'all, Aaron don't even go and group me like that, okay? Aaron, I cannot remember the last time Aaron has really posted and grouped me other than a random ass video and then be out. Don't even stay for the responses of the video. And then he gonna have his nerve to be up in the group me chat today and talking shit to me? To me? I was really at work like, this nigga talking to me? Y'all, I really went off. And it didn't really make me mad. Like, as you can see, we're really weak about it. But it just, it's like, nigga, you don't even be in this group chat. And you in here dogging me. What type of, Anyway. So yes. Nope, you cannot comment. That was my under the skin this week. And now we are going to move on. Yep. Get yourself together. Collect them. Because now we are moving on to what are we watching this week? Aaron.
Well, when I was watching GroupMe, I just OMG. Okay, no. What I'm not gonna. I think you're entitled to your feelings. I'm like nobody. I'm not. I was just wondering. I was asking questions pretty much based on like.
You call me sneaky. I mean, you said I like sneaky people.
That was a question. I guess
no, that wasn't no damn question. That wasn't no question mark. Oh, I see. You like sneaky people in this show.
I said, I guess maybe there's a question mark. I was just trying to understand what like if you know this, and this, you still are.
I didn't say. I didn't say I like.
You know
them.
this.
I just said that they're.
And as I'm listening to you talk, I'm like, what? Like, there are people. Never mind. I won't go.
Bruh,
it's your field. Nope.
But like this show is called, it was just my perspective. Like I've looked at Littlefinger from different perspectives.
That's why I stated that with.
Yes.
You were entitled to it. I was just trying to understand if you know these things. Is this, or maybe, because maybe you did not know. I see
you like sneaky people.
Because maybe you didn't know.
But don't even be in the group chat, y'all. Anyway, okay.
I had time today.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he had time today.
Anyway,
all the time. All right, so now we are moving on to what are we watching? Yes, that's what I said. What are you watching this week?
Oh, yeah. All right. So this week I'm going to talk about a show called This Is Us.
Oh.
Yes, I really wish you would watch it because...
it gets so emotional, man. I just can't do it.
I mean, so it is. So the past episode that I just watched was like a Beth and Randall centric episode. For those that have watched the show, Then you know what I'm talking about. You've probably already seen the episode. If you haven't, spoiler alert, I don't know. Tune out for the next 45 seconds.
I mean, I knew them.
You know,
I know them.
Keep
so
it playing,
yes.
just turn it down. But anyway, so it's like a Beth and Randall like centric episode. This that explores the history of their relationship and sort of how they got together. And how they got sort of on this uncomfortable, shaky ground that is their marriage at this current moment. So just as a TV couple that's like storyline I'm invested in, it was like a really good episode to sort of see the history, like the origin of them. And that even to see, like, you really should watch it, because I think one of the things that came out of that episode for me, which you sort of know, but to see it sort of played out, is people only see one aspect of someone's relationship, right? Like whether it's when they're getting a divorce, or whether it's when they first got married, or whether it's like they only get to see like a moment. Right. Even if you know everything that happened, you may only have gotten to see that moment of it, and you don't necessarily. And this episode sort of showed, how they got to that, how that moment came to be, and so you could. I think they did a real. I think one of the things I also liked about it was that they did a good job of trying to create an episode where it wasn't one sided on one person or the other, right? Like where you didn't just all of a sudden agree with Randall, or you didn't just all of a sudden agree with Beth. Like you could really see, for me, the argument. If you wanted to, an argument could be made for both of their perspectives in that moment as a viewer. Okay. And so that to me was one of the other good things that made it. But that was what I was watching, along with, Game of Thrones and all the other things. Game of Thrones. And because we're recording on a Thursday, I can't talk about Grey's Anatomy, but
thank goodness.
We'll be back.
I do not want to hear about Grey's. Okay. So this week I watched Rob and I started Shrill on Hulu. And as far as I know, it's with the girl from Saturday Night Live or something. I don't know. I watch Saturday Night Live. It's a decent show. It's not anything that I would. I won't say that I don't recommend it. It's just like it's one of those things. Like if you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, it's whatever.
Is it funny?
There's some funny parts. It's kind of like a dry funny, but I haven't I haven't had any of those type of laughs.
I kind of like her on SNL, so that's why I want to.
Oh, okay. Something about her character. Maybe it just needs some more character development, but something about her character so far it's kind of annoying. The other thing that I tried to watch was Turn Up Charlie on Netflix.
Yes, I started that.
Did you?
Yes.
I did not get past episode 2. Yes, I did not get past episode. That little girl.
There are 8 episodes.
That little girl. It's not going to allow me to see the other 6.
No, I'm at episode 6. I'm 2 episodes away. You should keep going.
No.
I mean, I still haven't got. I keep going. I can't start episode 7 yet. So
okay.
I'm still trying to get. But
it's something I just can't deal with disrespectful kids. Like that little girl is disrespectful. Her parents do not discipline her. See, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot. It was too much. So, I mean, Idris was cool, and there were some funny parts. Like his family, I think they're funny.
Aunt Lydia.
Yes.
Aunt Lydia.
Yes. And of course the mom, because it's the same mom from Chewing Gum.
Yes.
Tracy's mom. Yes, I love her. I just love to hear her talk. So, yes, I like those parts, but I don't know.
And
I might give it another chance.
Him in that kind of role too.
Yeah. Because I like Idris, and then he had a little funny role, but no, I just. So yeah, that's what we're watching this week. And
all right, yeah.
Oh, and also of course Game of Thrones every day, all day.
I mean, at some point, I think either the mini-sode or the next one we need to dedicate like a recap opinion feature that we need to Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that.
We also Being Mary Jane. The movie's coming out. We need to figure out how to talk about that. Those 2 for sure, and then later on, like you said, the game. But
yes, the game. Okay,
we'll get to that later. But yes, that concludes What Are We Watching? I think we're going to take a break.
Okay.
And then we'll be back.
And we're back, and it is time for a perspective. All right, and so we are going to jump right into it. Aaron, who do you want to go first this week?
I I mean,
I think I went first last week because acrimony took forever. And then you talked about... What the hell did you...
Girl, what did we talk about last week?
Acrimony.
No, not during the A perspective part, did we?
Yeah, because I talked about...
Oh, yeah, okay, so you did go first because I don't know.
Acrimony took a long time.
That should take,
all right, so I'm going to let you go first because mine is short and sweet anyway. But,
is it?
You know, yeah.
I mean, mine is kind of too. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
I mean, we're on a pace right now. All right. So this week, I've titled my perspective, Ending a Friendship versus Growing Apart. The Devil's in the Details. All right. So the questions, so bear with me. Bear with me. Here we go. The question of who's in your life and why they are in your life are important ones. And when we talk about people deciding to not be in each other's life, it's important to note that the when, where, why, and hows of a particular friendship that's over depends on who the people are and the details involved. No two people are the same. We may get to the same conclusion, but the path that was taken to get there is not identical. So while discussing relationships of any kind, I recognize that yes, your relationships are different from mine and vice versa. But there are themes, patterns, right, to each person's story that we can identify with, or lessons we can learn to avoid similar situations. Why go through something when you can learn from someone else who's already been through it? All right, so we've heard the saying in various forms, people are in your life for a reason and a season. From my perspective, the reason that friendships end in that particular season comes from two places. One is something I refer to as just life, right? Over the course of time and many decisions, the reasons that brought you together are no longer applicable to where you are currently, and the need or desire to be in each other's life in that way no longer serves each other's purpose. In some ways, the space you two occupy when together is just space now. There's no fun, there's no laughter, there's no even, it's just space. Now, while the friendship has ended, it does not mean that it ended on a bad note. If you examine each person, you can see that there are still relevant feelings amongst them, but the individual worlds have evolved, and evolved separately. The other reason is because something has happened. Whether it's one particular moment or a multitude of things over the course of time, something just doesn't sit well with you. And ultimately, you can't get past it enough to continue to allow this person to actively be in your space in that way. I'm not saying that a successful friendship is only achieved in good times, but there is a difference between the ebbs and flows that friends go through and being able to say, I view you differently and now I show up differently because of X. And because of that, we can't move forward. That to me, those are two distinct views. Relationships of any kind, though, take work and commitment amongst other things. That statement has more validity as people get older and their environment changes. For me, life after high school and life after college meant I needed to be more thoughtful than I had been previously to not only maintain, but contribute to the elevation of each friendship. So lastly, I'll say I'm still doing that work to get clear about those two questions. And it's not just looking at people and how they impact my life, but more than that, looking at myself from all angles and getting crystal clear about who I am and what I bring to the table. So with all that being said, Ashley, what are your thoughts? Have you ever ended a friendship and and any that you feel comfortable talking about, and sort of which way did it go? How did it make you feel? How did you handle it? Just general reactions, but. Yeah.
So my first reaction, honestly, as you were talking was, what type of friend am I? I don't know, just thinking about am I doing the necessary work? Because I just like what you said about, after school, you were more mindful of, the type of friend that you needed to be. And, I know what that means coming from you. So
that also doesn't mean that I was
No. It just made me, it helped me reflect though. Cause that's something that some people don't put to the forefront, when they're maneuvering through relationships, and friendships. Have I ever ended a friendship with someone? I'll say my friendships that I no longer have fizzled away. Probably because of time and just actually not making that effort to, spend time with them or make sure to keep them in my life. And that could just be because the interest that we had just, grew apart. I will say it's difficult because I actually have a situation now where, well, not necessarily a situation, I won't call it that, but recently I've been thinking, there's one particular friend that I have that just sometimes we like don't see eye to eye and we kind of bump heads. And it's just, to a point now, it's like, I don't want to go through this with you. Like, I don't want to argue with a friend, and I just don't have like the time or energy or mental, space to deal with that. And I don't necessarily know if that makes me a bad friend, that I guess I'm not willing to put in the work. But I also, to me, friendship is not that type of work, if that makes sense. Like, yes, you put in work to, make sure you spend time with your friends and that y'all can, that y'all are still doing things together. But I don't want to put in the time to argue with my friend or try to defend the friendship, if that, defend my role in the friendship or do anything like that. Like, to me, that kind of crosses a line, and I don't know, like, if I'm arguing about stuff like that to keep a friendship together, especially for somebody that, I hate to compare, but if I think about like friends, like the people, some of you and Cece, stuff like that, like, I feel like those friendships were easy. Like, we just had some kind of connection where we just got, where we just became friends, and it was just like a solid, I guess we had a solid foundation. And even though over time we may have had our rifts, it was never like something that we had to, I never felt like I had to work to keep y'all in my life. Like, I guess if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So. This
is such deja vu right now.
Really?
Yes. Anyway, because what I'm gonna say is, it's that, I mean, you've heard me say this before. Like, friends come and go, like boyfriend and girlfriends do, right? Like, the same way you lose a friend is the same way you can lose a boyfriend. Mm-hmm. But I believe like family sticks around through the ups and downs, no matter what. And so I look at y'all more as like
family. Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
In the sense. So, and I'm only using friends in like such a meaningful way, so that this conversation has more context than me saying like that whole thing. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
My chosen family. Yeah. But yeah, so that's why, I mean, so it is to I guess wrap that up, it is a difficult decision, because it's like, do I just throw it away? And even if I do, how do I go about it? Like, do I just, slowly fade away and not, reach out and not really respond when they hit me up? Or do I let them know, like, listen, it's a no for me, dog. Like, I don't know, but you can't be heartless when.
I don't think it's. I mean, is it that easy to be that heartless? Because if it was that easy, why would you not do that in the beginning?
True. I don't know. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's. I value friendships. Yeah, I value them. I mean, I value relationships generally. If any relationship that I take the time like to invest in, or to have someone invest in me, like to build a foundation to hopefully, build something, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Then I value it, and so I don't think it. I think if ever I've gotten to that place, like, which I don't. If I ever get to that place where it needs to end, then that to me is almost. For some people who truly value their spouse and their husband or their wife, and not in terms of the same meaning, but the same impact that it would have. Like, that to me would be like, I've come to no end, right? There's no way of getting around this point.
Right. It has to be done.
Yeah. Because random people, I don't like. What? That means nothing to me.
I was just about to ask you, like, is it harder for people that you've been friends with for like a long time? Like, and then maybe y'all just don't see eye to eye on something anymore. Or maybe you just, like, earlier you asked about, listening to their bullshit. Like, maybe it's just, things that are occurring that it's just like, look, it's just not okay with me.
Yes and no. I mean, yes and no. Like, I don't know if I actually, let me not. I think what makes me not hesitate or pause in this moment is more so trying to think about trying to put individual relationships into like a category, and what can make me process it simpler for this conversation is I'll say, like, with you. I don't think that there are. I think there are things that we've grown out of but I don't necessarily think things that we have grown out of were like in my top things of things that I needed from you, or that I needed for this to work.
Right. Okay.
So I think there's a way to grow out of things with people, or to be tired of a situation, and for that to not be the thing that like is detrimental to the relationship, for it to be over.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
And a part of that is being open and honest from the beginning, right? So that every conversation isn't filled with some secrecy that then gets built onto another secret, that then gets built onto another secret, to then boiling over. That's
right.
another reason why I wish you had seen
This Is
Us, because that sort of so would have gone with that. Yeah. Right, and so and then yes, I think growth is natural, right? Because I hope to grow, and I hope the people that like and you're growing. How we choose to then still engage with each other is more about I think it's more about choice now.
Yeah.
I think there's more of a concerted choice.
Yeah, definitely.
And that to me is more effort, more investment, you're putting more on the table that could potentially be lost, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a level of trust. All that other mushy stuff. All right. Okay. Yes. Anything else to say?
No.
All right. All right. So now we're gonna move on to Ashley and your perspective for the week. What are we talking about?
So I was talking to my friend the other day, and we were talking about one of her exes and who her ex is with now, and it happens to be someone of another race. And so
wait, say that again so I can zone.
So I was
sorry, go ahead. Okay, from the beginning.
I was talking to my friend the other day, and we were talking about one of her exes and how her ex is now dating someone of another race.
Okay.
And so, I mean, immediately we started with, we made our, immediately we started with the jokes. I made some statements, blah, blah, blah. And then it made my mind wander. And I started thinking, stuff like this is a trigger. So I'm talking about triggers today. I first thought about this when I listened to Amanda Seales' interview on the Breakfast Club, and something she said about no, I think it's old, like maybe last year sometime. Okay. I don't know. But anyway, she had talked something about like PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, in relationships.
Oh yes.
You heard it, right?
I think we asked about that. I think we had a conversation about this a while ago.
Okay, we may have. Okay, well, it's my mind has gone there again because, just in talking about my friend's ex, it made me feel some type of way about one of my exes, like to the point where I was like, just that curiosity. I will say I did not do anything. I did not look up anything. Very proud of myself. However, it's just those things. So I guess. Like I said, I'm keeping it short and sweet, but I was going to ask you, in knowing what your triggers are and knowing what sets your triggers off, how should you handle it? And should you stay away from certain topics that may trigger your post-traumatic stress disorder from a bad relationship? Because, I feel like we all go through bad relationships. We've all had somebody that's done something that leave some kind of scar, whether we like to admit it or not, and whether we, go back to it often or not. There's some scar there, or a scar, lesson learned, whatever you want to call it. It is still like kind of related to that person. So, and there's triggers that will make you think of that. It could be like a song that you hear, or it could be a conversation. It could be a picture that you see. It could be just anything. Yeah. So do you and I also do you think it's impossible to stay away from it? But if you do have to come across, how do you handle it? I
was going to answer that too. I was going to wrap that in there.
Okay.
I think if you're at the point of calling something PTSD, right, then I think that there needs to be a recognition that is like a real, it's like a real thing that has to not be taken lightly. And so you need to do whatever it is you need to do whatever you need to do to address that. Mm-hmm. And within saying that, there are certain things, to add, wrapping that other question, there are certain things that are potential triggers for you that you can avoid, right?
Right.
And then there are some that are just out of your control, like listening to the radio and something comes on, right? Like you can turn it off, but you can't stop the initial, like, the song coming on. Right? So those things maybe are out of your control. But there are certain conversations that you engage in. There are certain people that you know you talk to. There are certain places that you know you go that will open yourself up to being triggered. And now you're not even just opening yourself to being triggered. Now you're wrestling with, do you go for it anyway, or do you avoid it? Right. Now it's not even just opening yourself up. You actively know that it's going to trigger you, and now you're playing with yourself. Now you're playing with yourself on deciding, like, do I take A or B? Right. A is going to trigger me. B is not.
Right.
How many times do we take A? Like, so
after you've taken B, like, yeah. Okay.
I think if you're at the point of calling it PTSD, like then there's a, it's not just saying you're hurt, you're upset, you know, with whatever triggers you about whoever or whatever, because this may not necessarily be a person, it may be a thing or situation or event that you
Very
harken
true.
back to. Yeah.
Something really
And I do believe that there are ways to deal with, cope with, get over, right? I think there are long-term solutions that can be implemented. Yeah. I don't want to say fixed or cured, because depending on what we're talking about and who we're talking about. But if I just go with, like, people, yes, there are solutions that can be. There are solutions.
Yeah.
The will and desire, right? Like, how much do you really have it? And then for you in this conversation that triggered this conversation, like, why is that a trigger for you? Like, let's wrap that. Let's not make it general. Let's take it back to the thing. Why would it be a trigger for you? You've made it a trigger. I mean,
yeah. Well, I was about to say I'm not going to answer it. Oh no, I'm not answering that. See, that's why I say no. I don't. That's why I wrestle with it back and forth in my mind, even talking about it, because it's like I'm not going to get deep on this because I don't want to give it that much power. But I do realize.
But you've given it that power already by even making it the conversation.
Triggers in general, though. Like, no. I'm talking about the situation. I'm not jumping into the situation like that. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not doing that. But yeah, I admit to my triggers, like, but I also feel like I have them more under control today than I did maybe like a year or two ago.
Better today than you were yesterday, right?
Yes.
Like, that's a real thing. So I get it.
Yep. Okay. See, I said it was just short and sweet.
But I do think sometimes we're strong. I think we're stronger. You're stronger than we give ourselves credit for, and sometimes it's harder to see it in that moment. When you're confronted with, like, backsliding, for lack of a better phrase, or not. Yeah. But even if you do, like, to me, in the bigger picture, grander scheme plan for your life, that may either be a necessary hurdle to get over, or it just may be a backslide. But a backslide doesn't mean, like, you've slid all the way back. Yeah. There's still opportunity to keep going, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. There's always a positive to that type, especially if we're talking about other people, because I'm just a firm believer in never giving someone that much power to, like, make it any PTS. What from who? What? No. So yeah, that was it.
All right. Well, that is going to conclude A Perspective this week. See, it was short and sweet. That was good. I feel good. Like, I like those chats. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. So now, what are you looking forward to?
I
also realized that last week you said, like, didn't you have a question about what made me happy this week, or what made you happy this week? Didn't you say something like that? Because you talked about
5
kids.
questions.
Nah. You seen some kids or something? I know I had seen, like, my friends. I had just got, I guess that would have been, yeah. I think I just gotten back from Virginia, and I went to go see, the babies. That's right.
My namesake and all, like,
what
the
did
babies.
You do this week, or?
I don't know where that would have came from. No.
Okay. All right, so.
Even though you can't see it, Ashley has forgot that we are recording.
So we are also doing video recording, and yes, I did forget that. Okay. Woo, child.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get
It's
easy.
gonna get messier.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So what are we looking forward to? You go.
I'm looking forward to being off tomorrow. I got some errands to run. Rob's off tomorrow. We're gonna have like some type of boo day, maybe. I don't know. Sounds like I'm gonna be doing her hair. Yeah, but it's still. I'm looking forward to a day off that I can just relax. I'll probably watch some more Game of Thrones. You know, the great stuff. What you doing?
Well,
what are you looking forward to?
I can't wait to get
doing?
home. I have a couple of things. I guess I'm thinking about it because I was trying to figure out what am I looking forward to. But there's many things. Because I'm here on a Thursday, like I said, I'm not watching Grey's Anatomy, so I can't wait to get home and watch TGIT, which consists of all of that stuff: Grey's Anatomy, Station 19, and For the People. I guess because today is you should actually watch it. It's a really good show. I think because today is you can. I think today. I think because today is what the start of baseball or home field or bring home, whatever it's called. But anyway, so tomorrow's a parade for the Yankees, and I live near Yankee Stadium, so I want to try to get to that.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that are happening, and then
Okay.
just being me.
So
What are we doing today? Trying to take over the world? No, yeah, that's it.
Pinky in the brain. All right, so that is going to wrap it up for us this week. We really hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please remember to check us out on Instagram, __, or on Facebook. Our page is A Perspective with Aaron and Ashley. And email if you have any questions, if you want to submit some 5 questions, if you want to give us any feedback, A Perspective, no E at the end, @gmail.com. Also, guys, listen to us on Apple Podcasts. You can rate us. You can leave feedback. And any other podcast, Stitcher.
Any other platform.
Any platform. Yes, please rate us. Leave.
That's good.
Yes,
Go
feedback.
ahead.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say also, what you can do is, this is episode 3, right?
Right.
So you can take any of the first 2 episodes or this one or even the mini-sode and share it with someone.
Yeah.
Share it with 5 people and just tell them to share with someone.
5. Only
right?
5 people, guys. Just share the episode.
You never know who this might be for or who they might think it's for. So
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So cool. All right, guys. So thanks again for joining us. And remember, if you change your perspective,
You change your outcome.
have a great day.
Bye.